Welcome back to Rewind Rewatch Podcast. I am the eldest sibling, Andrene.
I don't know why she said it that way. My name is Joel, by the way, if you don't know. But I'm also curious as to why you presented the eldest as if that was like a good thing. I'm confused about that.
Because the oldest sibling is the best. Everybody knows this. We pretty much run everything.
Does everybody know that?
We handle all the family vacations. Like we're the go-to for planning.
You have responsibilities within the family. That means best?
Yeah,
Oh,
because the parents entrust us
with
with all of these special things.
Yeah, but what about the funniest, the most entertaining, the most thoughtful, the most caring? Like, there's other things that add to a family dynamic.
I'm the most thoughtful as well.
Other than planning a vacation.
I'm the most thoughtful as well. Are my gifts not super thoughtful, Joel?
Okay. Listeners, this is how we settle every debate. Listeners. You guys haven't been doing a good job of settling our debates either.
You haven't.
You've been all they want to do is give us their movie picks. Yeah. That's all they want to do. We need something from you guys too. All right. Welcome back to another episode 30 something.
Yeah,
I lost track.
Yeah, I don't know.
But you will see what this episode number is as you're playing. You will be looking at it and thinking, why don't they know?
Because we record in advance, people. That is why we do not know.
And also, there's just a lot going on. Life be lifing. And,
yes.
But we're here, and we're recording episode 30-something.
And we're happy to be here.
We are. And shout out to you for listening as well.
Yes. All right. So this week we got Never Been Kissed.
Yes, we do.
1999, right at the end of the 90s. This is a PG-13 movie with a 1 hour and 47-minute runtime. And we have to shout out 3 special listeners today. We have Megan.
Shout out to Megan.
Sarah.
Shout out to Sarah.
And Chris.
And shout out to Chris.
Thank you all for your suggestion. Before we even get into who's in the movie, I'm going to remember this time, Joel, the one sentence summary. I feel like I don't always do it when it's my turn, but since it's your turn, I'm going to make sure.
Yeah, I definitely forgot to ask you when we did Boomerang. And I feel like there was another movie that I forgot to ask. But
yeah,
one sentence summary, a former high school loser takes a job with her current newspaper to go undercover as a high school student and relive the experience.
Yeah, this movie,
there's a lot.
There's so much to say.
There's a lot.
I feel like I'm bursting at the seams.
So the whole concept of this podcast is for us to kind of rewatch 90s movies and talk about how well they've aged and how much these movies are as good as we thought they were back in the day. I will start by saying that this is a movie that I remember you talking about a lot when we were growing up. This was a movie that I'm assuming you watched in middle and high school. I actually never watched this movie.
Really?
No, I remember it being on because you would watch it, but I don't think I ever sat down and I was just oh, this just looks like Drew Barrymore being goofy. And I was and that's kind of is what the movie is. But I was just this doesn't really hit the spot for me. But more specifically, this concept of whether or not the movie aged well, I think is going to be
oh my Lord,
a major talking point in today's episode.
Yes, because the entire thing just is aged very poorly.
There are a lot of things. I'll say that me and my partner were sitting down watching this, and there were multiple times throughout the movie where I just I would just glance at her. I would just glance and look at her, and she would just glance and look at me. It was every 10 minutes we were both just looking at each other yo, did you see what just happened? Did you hear that?
The 90s, baby. What a time to be alive.
It's 1999.
It's still the 90s.
It is still the 90s.
All right, so the main character we have is Drew Barrymore. She plays Josie Gellar. And Drew Barrymore, her first big film was E.T. at the age of 6 back in 1982. She also did 2 Stephen King movies shortly thereafter, Firestarter and also The Cat's Eye in 1984 and 1985. She was in Scream. She was the first major kill. She was in Ever After, A Cinderella Story, Charlie's Angels, 50 First Dates, The Wedding Singer. I mean, she's just done a number of things. Most recently, she has the Drew Barrymore Show, where it's one of those daytime shows where she interviews people. So she's still very much, on TV and still filming things and still doing things. Very successful career.
Well, I just also want to flag, you mentioned that she got her start as a child actor in E.T. And I wanted to, I don't know if plug is the right word, but Demi Lovato is putting out this documentary. Well, by the time you guys hear this, it will already be out because it comes out September 17th. And it's called Child Star. And so she's talking about her experience growing up in the industry. And she interviews a number of people, including Drew Barrymore, to talk about like what it was like. And the tagline on the movie is the price of fame worth your childhood? So just a quick tie there. And Hulu's not paying us any money, but if they'd like to, they can. I'm very interested in this.
Yeah.
It's something that me and my partner talk about a lot because she's like, children shouldn't be celebrities. So I already know we're going to watch this and she's going to be yelling at the TV. But Drew Barrymore is one of them, but she is I guess a success story in that regard.
Yeah.
Because I don't remember her ever like being addicted to drugs or like going off the deep end.
Yeah.
She kind of was able to navigate it.
Success story for sure. Next up, we have David Arquette. And I mean, he is basically a scream machine because he was Dewey in like all of the movies up until they killed his character in 2022. And then also he was in, I believe we mentioned this before, there was a Buffy the Vampire Slayer movie. It's actually a 1992 movie and he was in that film.
So it was before the show.
Yeah. It's actually, it was kind of like a comedy.
So what, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, was it a movie first?
Yeah.
Or was it like a comic book or something?
I'm not sure it was a comic book, but I know it was a movie.
It was a TV show based on a movie.
Yeah. And they, stretched it out for many seasons.
Shout out to Sarah Michelle Gellar, too.
Yeah. So he was in that as well. And he plays Rob Gellar, who is Josie Gellar's brother in this film.
This guy's a real piece of work.
He is.
I have plenty to say about Rob.
He is.
But yeah,
and then,
let's go through the rest of the
And then
cast
we
first.
also have Sam Coulson, who is the teacher. He's played by Michael Vartan. And I don't know this show, but Michael Vartan is apparently known for this show, Alias, 2001 through 2006.
Yeah, that was the show that Jennifer Garner got famous for.
I just never seen it.
I never watched it either. But.
he also was in 1 Hour Photo in 2002.
That movie's insane.
As well as Monster-in-Law in 2005. Then, of course, you have Molly Shannon. She is basically SNL. Like, when I think of her, I think of SNL, and then I think of Superstar. Because that's just who she was.
And then she was also on the other two. She played the mom. I love that show.
She also was on Divorce, which is also an HBO show.
Yeah.
So she's still doing really well. She's still out here acting and doing her thing. Yeah. She's very funny. She plays Anita, who is Josie Gellar's coworker. We also see John C. Reilly. He plays Gus, who is Josie's boss. And John C. Reilly, when I think of John C. Reilly, I think of Talladega Nights, first and foremost. That's the first thing I think of.
Yeah. I feel like there's a number of people who show up in this movie that I'm like, oh, this person's in this?
Mm-hmm.
And he was certainly one of them. I feel like Talladega Nights is when he became like John C. Reilly. Like when like people started to kind of name him and stuff, especially like being such a big part of that movie. And then obviously he did Walk Hard, which was a big movie, and then Step Brothers.
Right. So after that, he did a movie called We Need to Talk About Kevin in 2011. This is also a different role for him. He plays more of a serious father figure. If you want a movie that's going to basically tear your heart right out of your chest, watch We Need to Talk About Kevin. It is very dark, very sad, but very, very good. It's on Hulu currently. I recently rewatched it. I just saw him and I was like, oh, let me watch this movie again. And it's phenomenal. Great acting.
Nah, he's got chops. I've seen him in some stuff. I can't think of anything off the top of my head that isn't funny. Oh, he was in Carnage, which is a movie I absolutely adore, which is based on a stage play. Mm-hmm. He was also in Gangs of New York as well.
Right. And Chicago.
Right, yeah. No, he's very talented.
He sure is. And then we have Jessica Alba shows up.
As one of the plastics?
One of the plastic girls. Yeah. One of the mean girls.
One of the Barbies.
Yeah. We also see Octavia Spencer. She plays one of the coworkers.
Yeah, she does.
And she's from, The Help, Fruitvale Station, Hidden Figures.
Ma. you can't not include mom.
And then Lily Sobieski plays Aldis, and she is one of the students that goes to the school, and she befriends Josie when she has no friends. So
There's also a small part by James Franco.
This is actually, I believe, his first film.
Really?
Yeah.
The irony is I'm currently rewatching Freaks and Geeks just because it's a show that I really enjoy. So whenever I'm just like, oh, I don't know what to watch, I just put on an episode. So seeing him in this movie, it's kind of like, oh, wow. Like, I'm also watching him from a long time ago in this TV show. So that's interesting. So yeah, I think before we like talk about all the plot points, this concept of like going back to school, right? Obviously we're older than the character in this movie. I think she's 25.
Yeah.
And so this whole concept is that she's a copy editor at the Chicago Sun-Times. She keeps pitching stories. Some of them are getting picked up, but her boss is not letting her be a reporter.
Right.
And so this is her opportunity to basically go undercover and basically do an expose piece on high school students. The job isn't very unclear in regards of what they're actually asking for her to expose, but like, go be a high school student and see what you find out. And so I guess my question is, now is probably a little late because we're much older, but if you were 25, what would be like, would you take this? Because she seems kind of excited.
She's so excited.
Over her brother's very excited about going back to high school. God. Probably too excited. And I think even her coworkers are kind of seeing this as this opportunity for her to like do it over and do it right. And I know people have a lot of mixed feelings about high school. Just thinking about like where you were at 25, if you were to like go back to high school, what do you think that would have been like?
I mean, I would just find everyone so immature. Because
I
mean, at 25 years old, you're working a full-time job.
That's right.
For me, I was done with law school. So I'm like trying to actually represent people in court. So it's like, you're not in the mindset of like, oh, let me meet up with the popular girls and let's try to be cool. And what am I going to wear for prom? Like the whole thing would just seem so basic and juvenile. But obviously it's for your job. So like I could get into character if I needed to be. But I don't think I would be like, oh my God, this is the best assignment ever. But she seemed, like you said, extremely excited about doing this, which is actually kind of find odd because she was such a loser in high school and she's still kind of a loser now. So like,
not kind of. That's sugarcoating it.
So here's the thing: she's 25 years old.
She has no friends. She has no dating life.
They show her at home, and like she's basically just like doing like knitting pillows, on like a Friday night. Like this is what she does. She goes home and she knits
and talking to her pet turtle.
Yeah, it's very, very sad. Even the way she dresses is very frumpy. She has a receptionist who pays her absolutely no mind because she really has no authority. It's just, the whole thing is just very sad to watch.
Yeah. And
so I'm like, what about her made her think, I'm going to go to school and be cool? Or I'm going to even enjoy this. Like I didn't really get why she thought she would enjoy it.
And I think that's the other thing, right? Like I think when people leave high school, there's this sense of like, you kind of have two groups, right? You have like the people who are like, you know, high school was fun. I like to reminisce on the time that I had there, you know, go to the high school. I just had my 20 year, I'm dating myself, high school reunion a couple months ago. And then there's other people who are like, I hated high school. It was so stupid. It was so immature, juvenile, whatever. And it's just kind of like a part of their life that they would be very content to just kind of erase from memory.
Right.
I think Josie's problem is that she hasn't really gone on to do anything more. So it's not like, okay, like, oh, high school was fun. No, it wasn't high school was fun for her. Yeah. But then it also isn't like high school was stupid and now I'm doing better stuff. It's like, nah, you're still actually on the same thing you were on in high school. You're just 7 years older.
Just getting paid.
And like you still have no friends and you still have no dating life and you still are just kind of like an outcast. You're just doing it in a workplace setting instead of doing it in school.
Yeah, very true. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that whole thing was strange. I kind of want to talk about this outfit that she wears on the first day of school.
Bizarre.
Because I couldn't quite understand what made her think that wearing all white with a white feather boa was the move. Not to mention, the makeup that she put on made her look like she was dying.
It was disastrous.
Like, her lips had this weird grayish, like, tint to it. I thought she was sick. I was like, what is happening?
I feel like she had on an all-white fit. It's funny because her name's Josie, and she makes a joke about being named after a guitar-playing pussycat.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the irony of that is that she came to the first day of school dressed like Josie and the Pussycats, almost. It's like...
You're right.
It looked like almost like a 70s outfit, which is bizarre because it's like, you're also not old enough. It would have been something if she was like 50 going back to school and then it's like, oh, this is what kids used to wear. But it's like, you were in high school in like 1991. So why did you think that this was like an outfit? And then I don't know if it's like white lipstick that she has
That's
on.
what I'm saying. The lips,
but it's like I've never even heard of white lipstick.
It just flushed
before.
her out. It just
it looked
really
like
bad.
paste. It looked like she had paste on her lips.
Yeah, I didn't know what was happening.
Or like she was dead.
Well, apparently Anita picked out the outfit, so I don't even know. I don't know. So she shows up on the first day of school, and I instantly thought about our high school because when she gets there are metal detectors.
Mm-hmm.
Hold it. Where are you going?
To high school because I'm a high school student. I'm here with my fellow students. Hey, guys.
And I was like, oh, this is so reminiscent. And I don't know how many of you all had metal detectors in your high school, but Joel and I certainly did. We had to go through it every morning. And like, you basically had to get to school early enough so that you could go through the metal detector line, get your book bag checked, and then go to your locker, and then go to class. So it was a very delicate schedule you had to abide by to get in. So they have the metal detectors there, and like she just seems so clueless because she's trying to walk in, and the guard's pointing at her like, "What do you think she's doing?" And she's like, "I'm a high school student. Yeah, I'm here for my first day of class." And he's like, "Look at the signs." She basically is in like the men line to go through the security, and it's like you didn't notice that there were a whole bunch of men
no,
over here.
Apparently not.
And all the girls on the other side.
You also didn't notice that everybody's walking very slowly to get into the building and walking under this huge gray arch. And emptying their pockets? She didn't notice any of that.
She didn't notice any of that. So I'm like, okay. And then as I'm watching it, again, like Joel said, I've seen it multiple times, but I was much younger. I have not really watched it since being an adult. And I'm thinking to myself, in my mind, I thought that maybe like the school knew that she was doing something. Because I'm thinking, like, how did she enroll in this school without a birth certificate, without like...
parental signature.
Nothing. She just said, "Hey, I'm Josie Gellar," and then she just showed up. And then
yeah, I don't know.
And then later on, when her brother Rob basically shows up to try to help her become popular later on in the film, and when he shows up,
is that why he showed up?
Well, he wants to play baseball. We'll get into Rob. We'll get into Rob.
There's a lot to say about Rob.
But when he shows up, we know later on in the film that he enrolls basically as Rob. There's no last name.
Yeah, that's right.
So it's like,
that's right.
So he just showed up with a fake ID that said Rob.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh yeah, cool.
It seems legit. He's like, yeah, I just made it myself in the print shop.
At his tiki shop, the tiki post.
Yeah, the tiki post print shop.
And then I have another gripe. I mean, there's so many gripes.
This is going to be an episode full of gripes. Buckle your seatbelts.
It's just the first day of school, though. Okay, and I still have so many gripes. So she finds her way to her first class, and it's some kind of like world history, geography type of course.
Oh God!
And she's late because, of course, it's her first day of school, and she doesn't know where she's going or what she's doing. And when she walks in, the teacher basically, is not really upset, but basically it's like punishes her because it's like, in my class, I don't allow for any tardiness. So she makes her wear this sombrero. Mm-hmm. And again, it's like, why are we making fun of a sombrero? Like, why are we even making that a punishment to be like, mm-hmm. Oh, you have to wear this sombrero on your head? So that was kind of xenophobic. But apart from that, she comes in, she's stammering over herself to kind of explain who she is. And she sees this young teenage boy walk in. And this boy reminds her of the boy she had a crush on in high school, mm-hmm. who was super popular. The boy from high school's name was Billy. This guy's name is Guy. So she sees him and she freezes and she's like lost in thought. And I'm thinking to myself, So she had to wear the sombrero because she was late. But Guy came in after her, and there was no punishment. He just came and sat down.
Well, he's a cute boy.
I was like, the teacher didn't even say anything to him.
No, that's actually a really good point. I didn't even notice that, but that's actually exactly what happened. He showed up very late, actually.
Yeah. He basically walked in like he was Christian from Clueless.
Oh, God.
Just came in.
Hey, what's up, Tuts?
And I was like, that's it?
Wearing the sombrero, hey? You didn't have a hall pass? So, yeah. And not to mention the fact that, as we mentioned, she is 25.
Yes.
So that she's like, oh my God, like
he's
this
so hot.
Guy is so cute, and he reminds me of Billy, and he's also a child.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be a big part of
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of adults crushing on children.
Yeah,
in this
I don't even know how to
movie.
finish that sentence. But yeah, there's a lot of like, and I feel like they teeter-totter on this concept just enough to like avoid it being like a full R. Kelly situation. But
there was no peeing on anyone.
there was not. That's not what I was referring to. But like they avoided like going all the way there, but I feel like they still go further than they would have if this movie came out today.
Yeah.
Like way further than they would have
for
in
sure.
terms of like this whole concept of like the older and the younger. So yeah, so she basically sees this guy and she's like, "Oh, his name's Guy," and she's like stammering over herself. Also, when we talk about Josie being a bit of a loser, I noticed that there's a lot of like slips and falls and pratfalls.
Yeah,
and whoa, and the door slams in her face.
Spilling her drink on her pants.
Yeah, there's a lot of like, I'm so clumsy. Oh man, look at me.
Mm-hmm.
Which I could have probably done without.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't like a huge fan of that. I feel like that's very rarely funny. Like the only person that would slip and fall and make me laugh is probably Kramer from Seinfeld because it was
the way he did it.
It was the way he did it that I was
Yeah.
like, oh, this is actually funny.
Yeah.
But like, it never hit the spot for me.
You're not into the pie in the face type of humor?
Maybe.
Three Stooges?
If it's Three Stooges, maybe you could do the pie in the face. But it's like, I don't know, man. Like, the spit take, the slip and the fall,
The kicking the balls.
the kick in the ball. Like, it's just, oh my God.
It's like America's Funniest Home Videos. I feel like 1 out of 5 videos were just some guy getting hit in the nuts over and over again, and people would consistently laugh at it.
Oh.
And I'm like, how many times you can watch the same thing? It's kind of, what's that dumb show like Tosh 2.0, whatever the heck? They still do this. I'm like, who wants to sit around and watch guys getting hit in the
Tosh
balls
2.0
over
reference.
and over?
I did not know that was coming today.
Neither did I.
That's
It
amazing.
just popped into my head.
That's amazing.
But
That
that's
show
what
is
it
pretty
is.
bad.
That's what it is.
That's mad funny. So yeah, I could have done without that. So this girl, Lily Sobieski's character, and you know what's funny? I didn't want to look up her name because I guessed that was her name. I'm like, yo, I feel like that girl's name was Lily Sobieski, and I was right. And I don't remember where I even know this girl
Kudos.
from. But I know that she had a face that she was like around. Like she was like around like in the late 90s for like 2 years, and then you just never saw her again.
Yeah. She was in Jungle to Jungle, Deep Impact, Joyride, The Glass House.
Yeah. She was like in stuff, and then it was like, oh, Lily Sobieski, the new girl on the scene, and then it was just like over. But yeah, so she plays like all these, and again, I'm making another reference to Freaks and Geeks, which if you haven't seen, does not going to make any sense to you at all. But in Freaks and Geeks, this main character is basically trying to determine, she's like a nerd who's trying to figure out how to be cool. And she used to be in this group called the Mathletes. So in this movie, I was reminded again of like Lindsay in Freaks and Geeks trying to get away from the nerdy kids. Because in this movie, there's a math group called the Denominators. And so Aldis is in this group. She's like kind of an outcast, but sure of herself. She's like artsy, but she's not popular.
Right.
And she quickly befriends Josie, invites her to join the math club. Josie's very intelligent.
Yeah.
And also her first day of school, she's giving like these very verbose answers in the middle of literature
it was
class.
too much.
Which I'm like, girl, like, this is not how you blend in.
No, it
Like,
was
why
too
would
much.
you do this?
It was
and then
way
the
too
teacher's
much.
looking at her like, huh, that's interesting. How do you know? And she's like, I don't know. I'm 17.
He's
All
like,
right,
are
come
you
on.
17?
Like, relax.
And she's like, yeah, I am. But so, and also I call BS because the fact that she was an English major, we can kind of assume because her vocabulary, like you said, the Latin root and all this, she's constantly correcting people's grammar.
She's a copy editor. She's a copy editor in real life.
Right,
Like,
but I'm saying
she's constantly
but even at
editing.
work,
Yeah,
she's telling people like,
it's
no,
outrageous.
that's wrong. No. So great at English, but then she's also great at calculus. I'm like, come on, bro.
Well, she was a nerd.
Yeah, but
So that means she has to be a content expert on every single thing.
Most people are like English or math. Most people are not math and English.
Well, let me ask you this, because we talk about how she's like constantly correcting people's grammar throughout the film. And I know that I was having a conversation with some friends about this like fairly recently about like correcting people how
You're going to bring up salmon?
No, I wasn't, but I am now. Well, basically the conversation was around like, if somebody makes an error about something, like when and if do you decide to like actually correct them? Because some people will take it as like, oh, thank you, you corrected me, and now I know the right thing to say.
Mm-hmm.
And other people will take it as, oh, you're calling me stupid. And so like, I feel like when I was 19, 20, I probably did a lot more of like the Josie Gellar.
Yeah.
Now, at my big age, I feel like I just let things slide because I'm like, I just don't have the energy. And I also just don't want to seem pretentious.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of people just don't want to be, like, I feel like most people would rather be wrong. So I wonder, I guess it's two questions. Number one, if you're wrong about something, do you want someone to actually correct you?
When it comes to English, I do. Because I feel like as someone who basically writes for a living, I want to know if I'm using a word incorrectly. So I feel like I definitely want to. I'm also kind of a nerd when it comes to English. I'm not Josie level, but I have corrected people in the past. I have had friends in chats lovingly. Like they'll write something and then come back and correct it and be like, sorry, Andrene, ha ha ha.
Sheesh.
But it was a joke. But like, it's a joke. It's like a joke. It's not like seriously like anxiety and Dream might correct my grammar in the chat. No.
So you are Josie Gellar.
No. Okay. So I'll tell this quick short story. I was dating a guy once. We went out to eat. He ordered the salmon. He pronounced it salmon. And he was like saying it loud. Like it was like salmon. And I was like, like
He emphasized the L.
Like the way he said it was like, and I was like, oh.
Salmon. Salmon, please.
So the first time he said it, like, I was like, I kind of like let it slide. And then like he said it again. Like, and so
it was the second time that really grated you.
So then the waitress went away. And I was like, oh.
The second one.
And I said, oh, you mean salmon? Like, very just like nonchalant, like, oh, like, because if that was me, I would have been like, oh, salmon, like, am I saying it wrong? Like, I would second guess myself and be like, I'm saying it wrong? Like, what? Thank you for letting me know.
Mm-hmm.
He did not take it that way.
No, he did not.
He was like, what do you mean? And I was like, oh, like.
So you calling me an idiot?
so I said, oh, like, you don't pronounce the L. It's just salmon. And he's like, what? And he was from Georgia. And he says to me, I mean, I don't know how y'all pronounce things in New York. And I said, whoa. This is not a New York. This is English. Like, so then I said to him, wait a second.
He thought salmon was New York slang.
I said, wait a minute. I said, you're in the military, right? And he was like, yeah. I said, okay, so how do you pronounce the word Colonel? Is it colonel or colonel?
Colonel.
And then that's when he like got upset and was like, oh, you trying to play? And I'm like, no, it's literally the same thing. Like the L is silent, right?
Oh, God.
And I wouldn't have gone there if he New York slang. I was like, bro, that's not New York slang.
Oh, boy.
It's the English language.
Wait, so then how did this play out after the colonel bit?
I mean, we ate our food because the food was ordered and we both were hungry.
No, I'm saying, how did he respond?
Oh, he just was like, oh, like, you being extra, like, whatever. He kind of like, whatever, played it off. And I was just like, all right.
Was the rest of the date?
It was kind of quiet.
Oh, boy.
But luckily the Knicks were playing, so I was checking the score on my phone.
Well, that's that does not make the date sound better. Constantly checking scores on your phone does not make the date sound better.
But
All
anyway,
right. Well, shout out to him.
That was
Shout out to him. Maybe after that traumatic experience, I'm also wondering how he goes and tells that story to his friends.
I probably am like the villain.
Like, yo, this girl, could you believe she kept telling me it's called salmon? Dumbass girl. She's from New York. You know they be tripping. They be tripping up there. She thought it was salmon. I told the girl, there's an L in that word. He's right going in. His voice is like, damn, that girl's an idiot. She don't even know how to say salmon.
Oh, man. Oh, I'm getting hot.
Oh, boy.
Okay.
All right. So, I had to. So there's a lot of that. So now, at this point, she is basically having a hard time making inroads with really anybody except for Aldis.
Mm-hmm.
And Aldis is like, yo, I don't care about like the high school politics. Kind of like when we watched Can't Hardly Wait, and there was that one, the main character, I can't remember the main character's name, but he had a best friend who was just kind of like,
oh yeah,
she was just like, I don't care about any of this.
I mean, I don't know if she definitely doesn't care, because I mean, like, even when there's a scene where she and Josie are in the car and they drive by the quote unquote the court, and that's where all the cool kids hang out, and she basically started to cry after Guy started calling her a dog and saying like, the dog park's down that way, ha ha ha, like, you're not invited, only the cool kids can come to the court. And
So
she's
instead
crying.
of Aldis, he calls her Alpo, like
Right,
the dog food.
the dog food.
Because that's hilarious.
Right. So, I mean, she was crying because it's like, at the end of the day, it's like, it is hurtful for you to not feel accepted. But I think as kind of a defense mechanism, she's like, well, screw you guys. I'm going to like, overcorrect and like just be who I am and come to the prom as like a DNA molecule. Like, like who does that? But, so she cares a little bit, but it's also like, I can't force them to like me. So what am I supposed to do? It's kind of sad.
Yeah, so Josie has no sauce, basically. And she goes back to work, and her boss, John C. Reilly, a.k.a. Gus, is like, yo, you have to get in with the popular kids.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you being a loser is not going to help us find a story.
Right.
Whatever's happening at the high school, the popular kids are going to know about. So you need to become one of the popular kids, become friends with the popular girls, and you basically have to do this. This is a directive from her boss.
Right.
And they don't trust her to actually be able to do this well because she has no idea even how to be popular in adult circles. Never mind 17-year-olds.
Yeah.
So they basically start putting a camera on a pin that she has to wear around.
It's like an airplane pin.
I don't know why she's wearing wings.
So weird.
She's not a pilot. She's not a flight attendant. But she wears this lapel pin and it has a camera in it. So now her boss is basically tracking her, and he's basically like, yo, just go to school, do whatever, I'll find the story, because you're not doing this well enough.
Yeah.
So now she goes to this party. Can we talk about this party? She goes to this
party or the club?
Yes, it's a party at a club, I guess. It's something where they go to like a club or a bar. Mm-hmm. There's a band playing. And it seems to be an underage club. Yeah. Because they're asking people for ID at the door, and then they're like basically stamping whoever is not, 21, so they can't buy drinks. Right. So she's like, "Oh, I'm definitely not 21. I'm a 17-year-old high school student."
It's so much. It's so much. And then the way that she's navigating her way through this party. Like, to the way she's trying to dance, she's like doing this awkward bop as she's walking. I was cringing. Like, I don't get secondhand embarrassment. I was cringing watching her. I'm like, bro, this is so embarrassing.
It gets worse, though.
And then, so as she's bopping her way through the crowd, her freaking English teacher, Mr. Coulson, is there. And I'm like, dude, why are you there with your adult girlfriend at a bar with 17-year-olds? It's just very bizarre. Like,
it's also like, it's not even just 17-year-olds there. It's like
your students.
17-year-olds from the school you work at are there.
It's so irresponsible.
When I tell you, when I was in the classroom, granted, I taught 5th graders, so this never happened. But like, if I would see my students around town, I would just be like, oh my God. Like, The last thing I wanted to see when I was like living my real life as Joel.
Right.
Like when I'm at school, I'm Mr. Brown.
Right.
When I'm outside of school, I don't know you guys. These little kids, I don't want to see you until Monday morning. And he seems to be, I don't know, he's like around a lot because it happens once here at this party. It happens again when the carnival comes to town. And so it's like, why are you always on the scene at all these places where high school kids frequent?
It's so weird. It's so weird. And his girlfriend's an actual adult, and she's like, this place, the bathroom's disgusting.
And she's like, why are we here?
Yeah, the bathroom's disgusting. I live in New York. Like, I'm trying to get him to move out here. Like what's going on here? This is not my scene at all.
It makes no sense. This guy belongs on what's that show? To Catch a Predator?
Yeah, he's a walking red flag.
He is. There's something dangerously wrong with Mr. Coulson.
Dangerous.
I don't trust this
dangerous
man.
mind. He has a very dangerous mind.
hey, that might be one of our next movies. That's 1995, I believe. Nah, he definitely has a dangerous mind.
Wait, so what did you think about Josie and his pot brownie?
Yo, the first thing I thought about Josie and the pot brownie, as a Jamaican American, I was wildly offended.
You had to be
by those accents.
Oh God,
they were really bad. And my girlfriend's Haitian American, so she knows. She's like, yo, I don't know how to speak patois, but I know it don't sound like that.
And that's the thing about the 90s that I think was very prevalent is like people loved quote unquote faking a Jamaican accent. Not to mention the fact that once anybody was from the island, they were Jamaican. Like that was just the rules in the 90s.
That's the only island.
It was like, oh, they're Jamaican.
Yeah. And everyone who speaks Spanish is Mexican.
Oh,
anyone from an island is Jamaican.
That's right. I forgot. Yeah. And of course, you're just African because there's no countries in Africa.
No,
it's just African.
Yeah, you're from the country of Africa.
Okay, got it.
Of course.
So you watch it and you're like, they're talking like, oh yeah, man, smoke this ganja, and I'm like, oh my God,
she's really not handling it well, man. It's like, what is going on, bro? What is happening? What is happening? This guy's obviously from Cleveland. Why are they trying to make us believe?
Just say man, and then that's all you have to say. That's all you have to say.
Bad. Man, I don't love her.
Wait, so for me, I will say I did chuckle at the part when she's on the stage. So basically, she gets so high that she gets on top of the stage, and she starts dancing around. And somehow in this film, they find a way to sneak in another feather boa. There's a pink feather boa that some girl is wearing, and she grabs it from off her neck, and she starts dancing with it. She's like flossing in between her butt cheeks with this thing. And then at one point,
she starts smacking her own
that's
ass.
That's the part that I was trying to chuckle at. There's a Congo drum, and she basically bangs the drum, and then bangs her butt, and then bangs the drum, and then bangs the butt. And this is like 4 times.
Nah, she was going in. She was going in.
I was like, okay, that's pretty funny.
It was outrageous. For some reason, I'd never seen this movie, but for some reason, I feel like I've seen this scene before. Maybe because you were laughing so hard at it that I probably came into the room like, yo, what's happening in here? And then I just saw Drew Barrymore smacking her own ass. I feel like that's probably what happened.
So after this performance, she thinks like, oh, I killed last night.
Yeah, but it's like, why did you think?
She was dancing and everybody was having a good
guess.
time. Yeah. So maybe, her just, she was kind of distorted as far as her perception is concerned. And so she thought everybody thinks, I'm definitely in now with the cool kids. She tells her brother, like, I'm definitely in. So because she was so high, she ends up eating like an entire pie. And she falls asleep at her like kitchen table or kitchen bar. And remember, her hand was stamped from the party because she was under 21. The name of the club was like Delosser, like Dellloser. And when she fell asleep with her head on her hand, the first D, E, and L got erased. So just the loser basically gets stamped on her forehead.
Of course.
So she goes to school because she wakes up late. She's running to school, does not look in the mirror the entire way there, which means she didn't check the mirror on the way out. She didn't brush her teeth or anything.
She didn't wash her face.
When she went to the car, she didn't look in the rearview mirror. She didn't look at anything. Gets to school, and everyone's kind of like, loser, putting the L up. Because back in the 90s, like, being called a loser was like, bro.
She was looking kind of dumb with her finger and a thumb in the shape of an L on her forehead.
Yeah. So, like, Everyone's like, loser, loser. And she's like, what? What are they talking about? Goes into the bathroom, looks in the mirror, and realizes what's going on. So now she's like really feeling bad about herself. She's like, starts getting flashbacks. And she has a flashback of when she was in high school for her prom. And she ends up being asked to prom by Billy, which is like the most outrageous thing because Billy's the most popular guy in school. She's a big loser. And somehow Billy...
Huge. Huge loser.
And somehow Billy asked her to the prom. So she's like geeked up. She's wearing this like Pepto-Bismol colored metallic looking dress. It's really bad.
Metallic Pepto-Bismol.
It's really bad.
That's nuts.
And she goes outside. She's really excited. And the limo pulls up and Billy stands up and there's a girl next to him. This, of course, a hot looking, girl from high school. Yeah. Probably head cheerleader or something. And they pop up and they have eggs.
Hey, write a poem about this, geek!
And bro, like, this scene, even watching it back, I remember watching when I was younger and being like, yo, this is so mean. Like kids are mean and we get it, but like there's something about inviting someone to the prom, showing up at their house and then throwing eggs on her. And then to protect her parents from what happens, like basically she runs off and like so her mom doesn't know what happened. So her parents probably think she went to the prom, but it's like she just ran off crying and like I guess she waited a few hours to go back home. But it's so embarrassing because it's like, bro, like I thought I had a date.
And there's also like, why do you have egg on your dress?
Well, maybe she wiped it off with some leaves or something. I don't know. But the whole thing was just like, who does this to someone? Like, what are you getting out of it? I don't get it.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense to me either. And maybe I'm just naive. I feel like we see this a lot, especially in movies and television shows where like the popular kids are just mean to the nerds for no apparent reason. My memory of high school is very different than this. Like, I feel like you definitely had popular kids and you had kids that weren't popular, but they just got ignored. Like, it wasn't like, yo, we're going to pick on these kids because they're not cool. It was just like, we're just not friends with them. Like, it wasn't a big deal. I feel like kids were a lot meaner in, like, middle school, where, like, people were just mean for mean's sake. But I don't remember 16 and 17-year-olds just, like, terrorizing kids. I remember hearing these horror stories when we were in middle school of, like, you get to high school and they're going to, like, have like freshman hell week and they're
throw you in lockers.
They're gonna throw you in a locker and they're gonna pick you up and put you in the trash can. And then it's like, yo, that's crazy. But then we went to high school, like nothing ever happened like that. Like it was just like, oh, the freshmen are here. We don't care because we're grown and we're not paying attention to freshmen.
You didn't get a swirly?
No, I didn't. There was never a swirly complex going around Mount Vernon High School. I don't remember that happening. So like, I don't know.
It was also a black school. Is it different?
I wasn't going to say it. I don't know if it's different, but I wonder how much this is like Hollywood just creating these like villain complexes that never really existed. I feel like it makes more sense for like a 12-year-old to just be mean for mean's sake. But like a 17-year-old going through the trouble of inviting a girl to prom, having her buy a dress, like doing all this stuff just to be like, ha, you're a loser. Like, what? Like, how is that fun for you as a 17-year-old, 18-year-old boy?
I don't get
it.
Like,
that doesn't really add up for me.
This kind of goes back to the whole Forrest Gump thing. Remember when, like, as he got older, they still kept chasing him with their car? It's like, why are we still doing this? Yeah, I don't know. So anyway, she thinks about that, and now she's like really down in the dumps because she's like, bro, I'm still a loser. This is happening all over again. But then Rob shows up.
We have to talk about Rob.
Her brother.
And before we talk about Rob, I just want to point out how ridiculously sad is it that you went back to high school as an adult and you're still a loser again. like you were a loser in high school. You got to leave. You got a whole job. You came back pretending to be a kid and you still...
That's the thing.
You still have nothing?
It's like you should know how to manipulate all these children.
You still have nothing? As a 25-year-old woman, you still have nothing. They're still like, damn, she sucks. That's crazy.
That it really is unbelievable.
insane.
It's really unbelievable. It's like, come on, she should have a little bit of juice.
Yeah, she has some sort of know-how that she should be able to like even impart things on. Like, oh, how does she know that? But it's like, yeah, because I've lived my life.
Right.
But it's like, you still have nothing.
You have nothing.
So Rob is a whole disaster.
So
let's just start there.
So from the background, we learned that Rob apparently was supposed to be a baseball player.
Yeah.
But he lost his chance because he got mono? I didn't
you know what's so funny? You know what's so funny? I thought I missed it. Like I thought like I missed it, and then I was like, yo, I don't know. I don't really feel like rewinding. Like I'll just ask Andrene about it when we do the podcast. I thought maybe like, oh, he had like a season-ending injury and then he couldn't play baseball anymore. But
no,
he just got sick for 2 weeks, and then like that just ended his baseball career.
Yeah.
That's actually much worse.
Yeah, he had mono.
Rob was also a different kind of loser, right? Like Rob knew how to do high school.
Mm-hmm.
It's like when you think about like I'm dating myself. But I'm thinking,
don't date yourself. Date someone else.
I'm thinking about like Al Bundy when he would always talk about being a high school quarterback, and he's like a 45-year-old man reminiscing on the
high school days. Yep.
And I feel like this is what Rob is, but he's not even like a 45-year-old man with a wife and kids.
He's 23.
Like he's just a young loser, where he basically doesn't really do anything with his life. He has a job at a print and copy shop, like kind of like a FedEx store.
Yeah, called the Tiki Print, I believe.
So he's like, yo, if you're going back to high school for your job, I want to go back to high school just so I can be lit again. Like this is his whole thing. Like high school was the best time of my life. I peaked in high school, and now if I go back, I can basically like be cool again, and I can play baseball again. So this is his whole thing.
It's really the baseball is the big draw.
He poses it, he frames it as like, yo, I'm gonna help you be cool because you don't know what you're doing, which is true.
Yeah.
And to his credit, he does help her become cool.
On the very first day, he shows up and basically enters like this coleslaw eating competition with someone else, which is disgusting.
Bro.
It's like a huge tub of disgusting cafeteria
he eats
coleslaw.
An entire vat of coleslaw.
Rob.
And I'm like, this is how you become cool.
In that school. Apparently.
Because what would happen if somebody did that at our high school?
Oh my God. Again, we went to a black school. I'm sorry, but I think it's different.
There are some cultural differences, I suppose.
So at our school, you definitely would have got thrown in the dumpster
like,
for that.
What? They would have been like, yo.
What's wrong with this guy?
Yeah, what's wrong with him? Why is he doing this?
Wait, so then after Rob becomes cool, he starts basically spreading around that Josie's also cool. He's like, oh yeah, like, you know, her dad owns the company for some like weight loss thing that the girls want, weight loss company. And he's like, oh yeah, she dated a drummer from some band. She's amazing. The third lie was kind of gross. He basically tells people that they used to date and that Josie broke up with him. And he's like, yeah, but we're still really good friends. Like, she's really cool, man. Like, yeah, I really respect her. And I'm like, so you're telling people that you used to hook up with your sister?
Yes.
Like, that's the lie they were telling?
Yes. I mean, they don't know that they're siblings.
I know, but it's still weird.
But yeah, that wouldn't have been...
That's weird.
That wouldn't have been the direction I went in.
It's very weird. But it works.
Yeah, he's basically cool because, number one, he's good at baseball. So, like, he's a jock. And number two, he's one of those, like, I don't care about anything but partying. So I'm going to party super hard.
He throws a really good party, too, a rager at his parents' house.
Yeah.
Because he lives with his parents still. Yes. They were out of town. Yeah.
So it's like, yeah. So he's throwing parties. Now, let's keep in mind.
Oh, God.
Let's keep in mind. Rob is 23
I know where this is going.
Rob is 23 years old. So you're a 23-year-old man. You're playing on a high school baseball team.
Yeah.
So that's number one. Number two, you're throwing keggers for high school kids.
So you're distributing alcohol.
So you're buying beer and liquor and getting everybody drunk, but they're all minors. What's number three?
He starts to date this 16-year-old girl.
Goodness gracious.
And
makes a number of inappropriate comments about how hot she is.
Oh my God. The amount of comments that Rob made during
And it's
this
not just
movie.
Rob, like the black dude who works for the Chicago Sun-Times, who's like,
He's
I
in
think
a
he's
van.
like working in a surveillance
Yeah,
van.
I don't
for
even
some
know why
reason.
he's in a.
I'm not sure why they hired a member of their IT team to sit in a van and watch her be a high school student. I don't understand exactly what that's about.
And then it's
He spends the entire time there with his girlfriend, so now she's hanging out in the van with this guy. Like, why is that fun for her on a Thursday night?
she was having a ball.
She was
loved
everybody's
it.
having a ball.
Yeah, they're at home. They're at the office with Doritos and popcorn, watching
They're
everything
there
play out.
late though. That's the whole thing. It's like she's going to these parties. She's going to prom. It's
The
like
carnival.
It's like 9 p.m.
Yeah.
So I'm still at work.
Yeah.
So I could watch one of my colleagues pretend to be 17.
Yes.
That's insane.
Yes.
And they're enthralled. They're enthralled by this. It's like their favorite show.
Wait, so the quote that Rob said was, he was talking about the girls from the high school. He says, damn, these are high school girls? We got some undercover hotties on our hands here. Sorry, underage hotties on our hands here. That's even
Underage
worse.
hotties.
Underage hotties.
Not a phrase I thought I'd ever be saying on this podcast.
And then when Josie basically chastises him for liking a 16-year-old, he says, but she's a gymnast. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, it's really
That's
bad.
not making it any better, bro.
It's really bad.
And then I feel like the thing about Rob that I probably hate the most is that he eats Hawaiian pizza.
That's worse.
Like, that is
somehow.
really bad.
That's worse than the 16-year-old
That's
girlfriend.
really bad. Because that's disgusting.
Meanwhile, I mean, we mentioned the carnival earlier.
No,
There's a scene where
Yeah.
they go to the carnival, and Josie, of course, at this point, she's trying to like get in with the in crowd. Rob gave her some juice, so now the Barbies are kind of starting to pay more attention to her, and she's getting more cool. As a result of that, she's kind of shunned Lily Sobieski,
Mm-hmm.
and then she's like, "Oh, like you suck. You're just like everybody else." So when she gets to the carnival, she's kind of there by herself, and she gets on the Ferris wheel alone. Who shows up?
Until Mr. Coulson.
Mr. Coulson, her English lit teacher. And he's like, oh, Josie's riding by herself. Let me go and sit on a Ferris wheel
Ugh.
with my high school student.
And it's not even just the sitting. It's the conversation that they have.
He's bearing his soul to her
Yeah.
about the travails of his relationship and why things aren't working out with his girlfriend and the type of woman that he needs.
Well, all I can tell you is that when you're my age, guys will be lined up around the block for you.
You have to say that because you're my teacher.
Actually, I shouldn't say that because I'm your teacher.
You know what kills me about him? That scene was very gross. But
Every scene he's in is gross.
that scene is very gross. But as the movie progresses, they end up preparing for prom after Josie picks the theme. And as they're preparing, there's like this montage where like Josie and Mr. Coulson are like painting like a mural for the prom. And they start like playing with the paint on each other's faces. Like she paints his nose and he paints her cheek. And I'm like, bro, this is how you act with your girlfriend. This is not how you act with a student.
He's openly flirting with a student on school property.
Openly. And staring at her and smiling at her and having all these feelings. And it's like, bro, the whole thing is just so freaking gross. You're amazing, Josie.
Yeah, he's going crazy. He's going crazy the whole time. And I feel like whoever made this movie is trying to show us that they have a connection and is relying on us to understand that they're both adults.
Yes.
The problem is the teacher doesn't know she's an adult.
Exactly.
He thinks she's a student. So what's his problem? And later on in the film, I'm skipping ahead
Yeah,
here
go
a bit,
ahead.
but there's a point where she basically gets upset with the cool kids because they're bullying Aldous.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, yo, like I kind of stopped hanging out with her on account of this story and really on account of my job because my boss told me to. But I don't want to see her like basically get terrorized because I know what that's like.
Yeah.
So she steps in and stops it from happening. And at this point, in the middle of this house party, she basically like blows her own cover.
Oh, it was prom.
Oh, it was in the middle of prom.
Yeah, yeah.
Great. Even worse.
Yeah. Blows her cover. But then what blows me about that is Mr. Coulson gets mad at her. So like,
yes, that's just exactly what I was gonna say. So she blows the whole cover, which number one, I'm like, girl, you're there to do a story for your job.
That was so dumb.
So you basically just have been pretending to be a high school student for the past 7 weeks
for reason.
Absolutely no reason, because now you have no story still. So she wraps herself. So I'm like, she's an idiot. But then Mr. Coulson, like you said, he gets mad at her, and I'm like, what is he mad about?
He said, you expect me to be happy because now I can actually be attracted to you? And it's like, yes. And he's like, I'm sorry, I can't look at you the same. So in my head, I'm like, so you want her to be 17? Like,
exactly.
It was very, very creepy.
Because this is the whole thing. It's like, oh, you were dishonest with me. I thought you were my student. Bro, like, that's not the flex you think it is.
You should be like, oh, thank God you're an adult.
Yes.
That's a proper response.
Yes. I thought I was attracted to a 16-year-old.
Right.
Luckily, you're 25. But no, he's like, you're not 16?
17, but still.
Yeah. You're not 17? Like, I don't understand. This is not.
And then he decides to move to New York to be with his girlfriend.
Well, if I can't be with this 17-year-old girl, if she's actually 25... Big bummer. I might as well. If I'm gonna be with an adult, I might as well be with the adult I know.
So we see him packing his.
That is no. I don't think we've talked enough about how insane this is. The fact that he's so upset that his student isn't actually a child.
Yeah.
And he packs his entire apartment to leave Chicago.
It's terrible. It's terrible.
Leave. He's not even going to leave. Like, I'm not going to work at this school no more. He's leaving the state of Illinois. He's moving all the way to New York.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He couldn't believe it. How dare she betray him like that?
Speaking of creepy things, because this is where we are now.
Yes.
We talked about Rob. We talked about how Rob is creeptastic. So the theme of the prom is
meant for each other.
Meant for each other. And the concept is that everybody comes dressed as a famous couple from history. Mm-hmm. And you get some really great costumes at this prom. There really were. You see Adam and Eve. You see Mary and Joseph. Yeah. You see the DNA, double helix. That was a strange one. Rob decides to show up as Tom Cruise in Risky Business. Yeah. Which...
It's not
on its own. Oh, that's an interesting costume. It's a recognizable film. He's got the T-shirt. He's got the tidy whities. He's got the shades.
He's wearing socks.
The problem is, you're a grown man going to a high school prom in your underwear.
Yeah, I thought about that. I'm like, wait, so he's just gonna be out with his stuff, just hanging out, like.
So you're just trouncing around.
Oh, gross.
This high school dance in your briefs?
Yeah. With a girl that wants to lose her virginity to you.
Very openly. I'm happy with the fact that he turned her down.
Yes,
That's like the only thing he does right this entire movie.
Yes.
But then when Josie exposes herself and says, and also Rob's my brother, and he's like, what? And he gets mad at her.
That part
How could you do this to me 2 days before the big game?
And I'm thinking, like, does he not know? Like,
so what happens? What happens if he plays the baseball game?
Here's the thing. He's like, the scouts are gonna be there, and I'm like, did you think the scouts were gonna see you play and not realize you're a grown man? Number one, and number two, even if they thought you were a teen, what would actually happen? Would you go to actually like enroll at their college, or like what was gonna happen?
Well, this is the other thing, right? Rob's student, because he has no last name at this school, is also a horrible student. So he probably can't even make the grades to get to college.
That's true.
Unless they cheat on his SATs for him or something, like how they did for Derrick Rose. But I'm not going to talk about that. So
he's not even going to class this round.
Yeah, like he's not doing anything. So then it's like, yo, like, what's going to happen after this? So, all right, so you play in the big championship game for the high school. And then what? Like, are you going to finish the year? Like, what are you doing?
Well, I'll tell you what, if he catches mono again, it's over for him.
Yeah.
So I actually have another trash thing to talk about. So we talked about Rob, we talked about Mr. Coulson, but we got to talk about Josie Grossi.
Oh, yeah.
Because she's sitting here and she's trying to get at her brother and she's like, this girl's only 16. How can you do this? This is illegal. But then Guy comes over to her and he's like, oh, I got to talk to you for a second at this house party. And she's like, me? Okay. And she's like cheesing. So her brother's looking and he's like, yeah, I'll see you in the cell block because like we were basically doing the same thing. So he knows what he's doing is wrong, but he just doesn't care. And she's mad excited because, basically Billy 2.0, aka Gus, likes me.
And also the fact of he's cool.
Yeah.
And I've never been cool my whole life. I've never been kissed. So it's like
been kissed.
Yeah, it's like I've never been kissed and I've never been cool. So the cool kid is giving me attention. And I feel like
he's crunching on her, according to the girls.
Yeah, he's crunching on her.
But what I hated about it,
he's totally Rufus.
Oh God, I hate that word.
You hated Rufus?
Stop trying to make fetch happen.
Nah, Rufus happened. They were saying Rufus the whole movie.
They were, but the thing about that is, so yes, we understand that like she kind of betrays Aldous by hanging out with the cool kids. But it's like, did you forget the fact that he completely dogged your friend out? Pun intended. Like. He made your friend feel so bad when she was driving by the court that one time, but he asked you to go to the prom and you forgive all of that? He's not a nice person. Not to mention, on her first day of school, they hit her car. They pushed her car out of the space and planted it on the football field and like removed the battery or something. So it's like, Guy is not a nice person.
No.
But yet you're so enamored by him. I couldn't understand it. I couldn't understand it.
Also, they're at a house party. All the bedrooms are taken because people are making out. Which again, is this like what happens at house parties? I don't know. Again, but it seems weird to me that I would open my house for people to just be having sex in all my rooms. But
watch any teen movie, that's what happens.
I digress. So now they go into a bedroom, which actually happens to be her childhood bedroom, but he doesn't know. And so I'm thinking, you're now alone in a bedroom with this boy?
Yeah. I thought he was going to make a move the first time I watched it.
I thought he was as well. And it's like, and what if he did?
Right.
Like, what were you going to do? Were you going to kiss this boy? So, like, why would you allow yourself to be in a situation as a grown woman where you're, like, alone with a boy in a bedroom at a house party?
Yeah. Just poor taste. Just very poor
Again,
taste.
like I said, this movie does everything except cross the line, but they are like tap dancing all over it.
Yeah. Yeah. It wasn't great. I definitely didn't like that. So, and then I also feel like, so to fast forward a little bit towards the end, basically after she outs herself, she ends up writing an article that talks about the fact that she's never been kissed. She goes back over her high school days. She explains how she was, Josie Grossi, which her brother apparently came up with the nickname, which is terrible. He's a terrible person.
I didn't know it was going to catch on.
So she goes back through like her prom and what happened to her. And then basically like, she's like, I had this teacher and I basically did him wrong. And this man knows who he is. And so the championship game for the high school where she was pretending to be a student, she said before, the first pitch is thrown, we'll set a timer for 5 minutes. I'm going to wait out there on the pitcher's mound, I believe. Mm-hmm. And she's like, if you forgive me, like, just come out here and, like, give me my first kiss. Is what she writes in the newspaper.
It's brilliant art.
And, like, everyone's reading the article. Everybody loves it. I mean, the stadium is packed. Everyone's like, yo, we got to see what happens to this story. And we're not sure, like, is Mr. Coulson going to show up? Like, what actually is going to happen? And,
I mean, we're sure.
Well, the clock runs out.
The clock does run out.
And he doesn't show. And everybody's like, dang.
But it's like, the movie can't end like
it's
this.
It's like, dang, he just didn't show. And then next thing you know, you hear like, woo!
Hey, wait, that's Mr. Coulson. Oh, my God.
And then she looks up and she's like, oh. And then you see him like jogging down the bleachers. And then he comes up to her and he's like, sorry, I'm late. Took forever to get here. And then she's like, oh, I know exactly what you mean. And they have a 90s kiss.
Oh, man. Big. Big dramatic 90s kiss.
Big 90s kiss. And so I remember watching this when I was younger and like being happy they got together, which is crazy. But
I mean, this movie is for 12-year-old girls, so
yeah.
it makes sense that you.
And
liked
it was
when
like,
you were a
oh, and
12-year-old
also
girl.
like he's a hot guy, so it's like, oh, she got the cute guy. Like he's intelligent. He's into Shakespeare. Who doesn't love that? Well, I mean, I did because I'm kind of a nerd. But it was like, oh, like this is kind of dope. But then watching it back, I'm like, bro, this. I mean, yes, they're both adults, and like technically, yes, they can both be dating, but the whole way that we got here is just very Etch-a-Sketch. Because it's like, bro, am I the first student you had a crush on?
It's a great question, actually.
Because I don't know. Typically, like with predators, like this is not a one-time thing. So it's like, I don't know if I'm the first student you sat in a Ferris wheel with at a carnival. I don't know.
But now he knows she's 25. So now it's, I guess we're supposed to believe that they just now live happily ever after as an adult couple. And
he doesn't move, you know.
Yeah, he doesn't move. He doesn't go to New York. He unpacks all his boxes. He tells his girlfriend, sorry, it's not going to work. I fell in love with a student, but it's okay because she's 25.
They move in together. Remember Josie, who you met at the club that you hated?
Right, exactly.
Now we're together.
The one with the sticky bathroom floors? Yeah. Now I'm dating her, but don't worry, babe. Don't worry, babe. She's 25.
And then
I was initially pretty upset about it. But now I've come to terms with the fact that I'm going to keep dating adults.
And then Rob ends up getting a job as like an assistant coach of the baseball team.
Right, which is you could have been doing this the whole time.
The whole time.
Like, you didn't have to go back to high school. You could have just been coaching baseball.
It didn't occur to him?
No.
This entire time?
This is the whole thing. It's like, Rob is an idiot.
Oh, God.
And Rob wanted to keep going. Like, Rob was upset at his sister for outing him at the prom.
Yeah, I can't even.
Because he was like, yo, I had a kegger planned after this. Like,
I can't.
And now I can't even get litty tonight with a bunch of high school seniors.
I can't even get into it.
You ruined my weekend, sister.
Okay, so apart from all of like the weirdly aged relationships that were happening in this movie, another thing that didn't age well is the treatment of like women and weight. A few times they mentioned things like, you know, this bread muffin has like 75 grams of fat. You can't eat that. Or I have to have only X-Lax and water till prom.
Oh, yeah, baby. 1999 in full effect.
You know, and then also it's like just women in general, I feel like are either like oversexed or like they're losers. So you have at work, you have Josie, who is a complete loser. Then you have Anita, who's like sleeping with everything that walks in the office. Like she has the guy from Op-Ed. She has the.
So about Anita, right? And this is the character that Molly Shannon plays.
I gotta put you on.
Yeah. Yeah. So Anita. She, I kind of felt like they were going to like explain it out. Like, oh, she's like sleeping with all these random people because she's really looking for love, or she was like neglected by her parents growing up or something. But it's just like, no, she's just oversexed.
Yeah.
And then like, that's it. Like, we don't really explain this character anymore.
Yeah. That's what I was like, there's no development there.
And then it's like, yo, like, she's sleeping with everyone. She's sleeping with random people in her office. Mm-hmm. Based on how she talks, we're to believe that she's been doing this since she was in high school.
Right.
And really hasn't, like, figured out another way. But despite all of this, she still has not really found love. Mm-hmm. But then at the end, it seems like it's implied that she ends up like getting with Gus.
Yeah.
And it's like, so is this just another person she's going to sleep with?
Yeah.
And I guess like they just don't care enough about her as a character to tease that out. But it was just like, I guess I was expecting like some sort of like even one scene where they could like explain that a little bit. But they were just like, nah, she's just crazy. She's just a freak. Like, all right. You know
how these girls are. You know.
I guess she's just a freak.
Yeah, you have that, and then you also have Jessica Alba's character. Like, they have her wearing like crochet bra tops to school, and I'm like, bro, no school dress code would allow this. It's literally just a bikini top, belly beads, and like a short skirt.
It's crazy.
I was like, this is not. No school would allow her to wear this. Why is this her outfit?
That's crazy.
It was wild.
Belly beads.
So that's what she was wearing. So I felt like the treatment of women overall, I just was not a fan. I was like, this is
Belly beads reminds me of like the Genie in a Bottle video.
Oh, Christina Aguilera, baby. Big fan. Huge fan.
What theme did you pull from this film?
Jesus. So,
fall in love with your student. She might be 25. That's the theme.
That make a great headline.
Yeah, that's the tagline on the poster.
So I put embracing authenticity, kind of, because
I actually had something similar. Yeah,
because it's like at the prom, the speech at the prom is actually the best part because like she talks about the fact that like you guys, all you're seeing is high school, but when you get out of here, it's not going to matter if you were the head cheerleader, super popular, or the biggest nerd in school, which is very, very true. And it gets like the clap after her speech when she runs out. I feel like that part was the most real part of the movie as far as her character is concerned. And also, she does come out with that article where she fleshes
fully
everything
exposes
out.
herself.
She was very vulnerable. And that's where she gets the big article. And we could assume she's going to become a reporter after this because it's such a success. So I feel like once she decided to just be who she is and write a story that was real to her, she tended to do well in her career. She got the guy. And then I felt like on a smaller scale, it was also like about cherishing the real friendships. The real friendship she had was with Anita and with Aldous, although she was a student, but you know what I mean. Like those are the two people that have always been by her side, wanted to help her out. Not these popular kids who were just popular because Guy said she should be.
Right.
So those were the two themes that I kind of pulled out, but a lot of it was just a car wreck, train wreck. Just a wreck in general.
As a car wreck, a train wreck, a bus wreck, a plane crash.
Just a wreck. Anything else as far as themes that you wanted to add?
No, yeah. I mean, I kind of had the same thing, just like this concept of like embracing your true self and not trying to be someone who you are. And I think that also goes to Rob as well, right? Like Rob was still like stuck in the past. And I think him embracing like the reality of like, hey, I'm 23, my playing career is over. I think he would like actually really enjoy being a coach.
Yeah.
And so like I think like instead of constantly like thinking about what could have been and beating yourself up over it, like coming to grips with reality and moving on, I think is actually going to like do it wonders for him in terms of his own happiness as well.
Nice.
Let's get some fun facts.
All right. So David Arquette, who played Rob Gellar, was married to Courtney Cox, and she played Monica Gellar on Friends. So the last name was a little wink to Friends.
You've been in Gellar, I've been in Gellar.
Another Friends reference, Michael Vartan, who played Mr. Coulson, he guest starred on Friends as the son of Dr. Richard Burke. He basically tried dating Monica on the show in one episode. And I instantly saw him and thought about Friends because I'm such a Friends fanatic. But he was on the show as well. So a little Friends connection there. So when Michael Vartan, who played Mr. Coulson, appeared on the Drew Barrymore show, he's talking about the fact that when they embraced for that very last 90s kiss, he said that he was surprised because Drew basically started to like really kiss him. Like he was like, I remember like you really kissed me and I was not ready for it in the least. And I'm a man. I was a very young man back then and I had feelings. They just happened. And I very quickly realized I was in a very bad spot because I was wearing very loose slacks and I thought this is going to be a disaster when they cut. So I must preemptively end this. So he said he started to panic. He just started to yell out, cut.
Bro, you don't yell cut. You're not the director. Keep kissing, boy.
And then he said, oh, guys, I'm so sorry. He said, I pulled my back out playing ball.
Oh, no, boy. Oh, brother.
And then he said he had to go into the corner and just started thinking like about dead puppies. And then
oh, my God. Oh, Mr. Coulson.
And that's how he was able to
sick man.
That's how he was able to control his boner. I was very tickled by that.
Oh my
and then
God.
he said, you're a very good kisser.
Yeah. Jeez. Goodness gracious.
So that happened on the set, which is a lot of fun, I suppose. The person who plays Guy, his name is Jeremy Jordan. He's actually a singer. He has a music video for a song called The Right Kind of Love from 1993.
Is it fire?
You gotta watch it.
Okay.
You
Say
just
less.
you
Say
just
less.
you just gotta watch it because it's like when you see Guy, this is not what you would expect to
Say less.
see.
I'm about to cue it
So
up.
so check that out. Check that out.
I know that I can give you the right kind of love. It's the right kind of night. You're the right kind of girl and the right time.
And then lastly, I would just say that this is Drew Barrymore's, her production company name is Flower Films, and she produced the movie. So shout out to her.
Oh, yeah, shout out. All right, let's do our
Ratings.
rewind ratings. And this is the part of each episode where we rate the film on a scale from 1 to 5 rewinds based on how rewatchable we think the movie is and how likely we are to watch it again in the future. I'll go first.
I'm curious to hear what your score is going to be.
This movie, like you said, was a bit of a train wreck. And I think primarily because the premise is just the premise of the film doesn't age well.
Mhm.
Like this whole concept of like her falling in love with the teacher falling in love with a student, her flirting with a student while she's older, Rob having a girlfriend, like just all of the things. And it isn't just like, oh, this thing happens. It's like a central part of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, it's like every 5 to 10 minutes watching this movie, it's like another like cringe. Either something happens, somebody says something. Mr. Coulson walks up to her at the proms like, "You're a very beautiful prom queen." Like,
Oh, God.
it's too much.
It's a
brother.
lot. It's a
too
lot.
much. So for that reason, I don't know. There are certain parts of this movie that are kind of enjoyable, like, you know, her smacking her butt on stage. But like
were you entertained? I guess is the question. Like,
I don't know. It was a little bit too cringe, I think, for me. I'm gonna say, yeah, I think I'm gonna give this like a 1.5.
that's low.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I was gonna say,
I think you gave Cruel Intentions a 2.
I don't think I did.
You
I?
did.
I gave it a 2.
I think you gave it a 2 or a 2.5.
It's not worse than Cruel Intentions, so I'll give it a 2.
Okay.
I'll give it a 2. Two rewinds. But it's definitely not getting any more than that. I was either gonna give it a 2 or a 1.5, but you know, your gasp made me feel bad about the 1.5. So all right, well, 2 rewinds. It's not getting any more than that though.
So here's the thing about this movie. For me, there is nostalgia that does not appear for you.
That's correct.
Because like you said, I watched it a lot when I was younger. And it's one of those movies that I feel like I watched a lot. It's kind of like a comfort movie. So I went into it like really excited. And then I was like, like there was so much going on that I did not like. God. All right. I think I'm going to give it like a 3. And that's high.
That's a generous 3.
That's high only because I feel like it just brings me back to a certain time. If that makes sense. Like
It does. It makes sense.
It's like, it brings me back to being, 13, 14 years old and watching this movie. And I mean, I was laughing at Josie. I also was like the whole club scene was hilarious. And then also it's like, just watching it back, I'm like, this wouldn't happen. That wouldn't happen. That's wild. But it was interesting. Like, I wasn't bored. I wasn't, like, looking at my phone. It was just kind of like, this is a wild movie. But, no, okay. No. 2.8. I'm bumping it down. 2.8.
Shave 0.2 off that score.
I'm not gonna do a 2. I think that's too low. I would do a 2.8.
Well, I'm doing a 2.
I'm doing a 2.8 for the nostalgia of it. Because would I watch it again? In 5 years, I might watch it again. So, yeah, it's there.
Let us know what you think, not only just about this movie, but let us know what you think about Oldest Siblings.
Yes.
I need to hear some of that feedback as well. You can reach us on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, on Threads.
All the things.
All the things. You can also send us an email at rewindrewatch1990s@gmail.com. Any final words for the listeners before we wrap?
don't date any high school students. Unless you're in high school.
Unless you're in high school. All right. That was totally Rufus.
All right,
guys.
later.